If you're a landlord and you're not using a letting agent, how exactly do you reference a tenant? That's coming up after this. Hi, my name is Tony Law from Your First 4 Houses, and my channel is all about helping you achieve financial freedom through property. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification icon, because I've got loads of content that I'm looking forward to sharing with you, and you don't want to miss out on any of this stuff. So this is one of 6 videos that I've put together for you that's all designed to help you find and keep the very best tenants in your properties. Now, I've broken it down into 6 different lessons for you. We've got demand, advertising, viewings, referencing, retaining, and sadly removing tenants from properties. And this one is all about the referencing. So it's going to start off with the employer's reference. So you're simply going to pick up the phone and you're going to speak to the potential tenant's employer. It'll only take a few minutes to do this, but you'll immediately get a sense of whether they actually have genuinely been there for quite some time. And you can also ask how much they're actually earning and so on, and make sure that tallies with what they've actually put on their form. Now, I should take a step back here and say, by the way, that there's plenty of organisations out there that can do all of this for you, but I find that I can reference a tenant usually within about 10 minutes maximum, so I just kind of do it myself, to be perfectly honest with you. Next, we're going to want to get a landlord's reference. In fact, if I get a landlord's reference from where the tenant currently is, and I'm slightly dubious about that, because don't forget, if that landlord has a massive issue with this particular tenant, it sounds really vicious, but they might be desperate to get them out of the property and into another property. So just be a little bit cautious when you speak to a landlord. If you get a sense that there's something not quite right there, if you get that, I personally would then ask to speak to the landlord before this particular one, because obviously they've then got nothing to lose. They will be deadly honest with you. Ask for a guarantor. If you have any queries whatsoever over the nature of this particular tenant, just ask for a guarantor, and then you're going to carry out these references via the guarantor. Ask for a decent sized deposit. I kind of feel that if a tenant isn't able to pay you let's say a month up front, for example, as a bare minimum, if they're not able to pay that, are they maybe going to struggle to actually pay the rent? I'd suggest maybe that is the case. Now, I appreciate you're not going to be able to follow that advice absolutely in some parts of the country, but in my part of the world, on the south coast, everybody can afford. I've found this to be the case. My tenants have anyway. They can afford to pay 1 month deposit up front, and in my opinion, that's the bare minimum that I personally will actually accept. Carry out a credit check on this individual, and you need to rely on it. Now, there's organisations out there you could use, for example, Letting Ref, for example, Open Rent, NLA. These are all organisations that will actually gladly do this check, a credit check for you, and it's really cheap to do, and rely on it. Because frankly, if you get a credit check that comes through that's a little bit dodgy, a little bit questionable, well, that gives you a really good indication, does it not, on how they actually manage their finances. And lastly, and you've heard this one before, trust your gut. This is going to sound awful, this next bit. Even a killer could get somebody to say something nice about them. Ooh, that's horrible. But hopefully you get the message that I'm saying there. Trust your gut. What do you genuinely think about this person? Because ultimately it's your decision as to whether that individual is going to be able to move into your house, flat or HMO. I really hope you found that one helpful. If you did, be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I've got a couple of other videos here that you may well find helpful. My name is Tony Law from Your First 4 Houses, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.